Blog Talk Radio.
Calling all men, it's now your time for your show with your coach, the Men's Advocate Show with Linda Gross. Relax, be heard, and be understood. It's a show where men can be men. Now here's the coach who has your back, Linda Gross.
Welcome everybody to another edition of the Men's Advocate Show with me, your host, Linda Gross. I am worked up to tell you about today's show. We're going to be talking about cheater repair. The moment you find out your partner has been cheating on you, just about everything changes, doesn't it? The trust has been broken, and it may be difficult to imagine a future knowing that your closest companion has been intimate with somebody else. So where do you go from here? Do you head to divorce court, or do you try to fix things? That's what we're going to try to find out today. All right, so turn up your speakers, put on your headsets, and call in to the show if you have a comment or question about cheaters, 323-642-1677. Again, that number is 323-642-1677. Now, statistics vary, but research shows that a sizable percentage of marriages manage to survive infidelity. Couples can heal from affairs, says Rabbi Slatkin. He's a relationship expert. He discourages couples from immediately separating or filing for divorce, providing that both parties are on board. Either you want the marriage to work or you don't. So here are 4 essential things that must be in place for a marriage to survive cheating. Number 1, make sure the affair ends immediately. One of the very first things to do is to determine whether your partner is willing to immediately dissolve the outside relationship. Stopping the affair is a non-negotiable. The third person in the affair can no longer be in anybody's life, even in a peripheral way. So if that means somebody has to change jobs, switch gyms, or even relocate to a new city, it has to happen. It's the only way to ensure that your partner is 100% committed to moving on. After that commitment is made, it's time to figure out what went wrong and why. So the next step is talk it out. Ideally, decide on a time when you can sit down together and have what's bound to be a difficult conversation. It's often best not to have this conversation the same day you learned about the affair, but rather postpone it at least a few days, if not longer. Set aside time in the future so you will both be mentally ready to share and hear these uncomfortable details. The betrayed should come ready to ask about whatever information they need to have so that all doubts can be removed and they can start healing from the affair. It's important to get to the root of why the infidelity happened. It's okay if the person who was cheated on continues to ask questions that seem repetitive. You want to uncover the how and the when did the distance in the relationship between you and your spouse develop. Answering these questions will be critical. When did we start having problems? What were the signs? Were both of us aware of the distance that was growing between us? These are some sample questions that you might ask each other. The third step is enlist professional help. Infidelity is a pretty serious issue for a couple to contend with on their own. Keeping your marriage intact is a priority. Many do seek a marriage counselor who can guide couples through the process. It's very similar to seeing a physical therapist for a leg injury. You may be able to walk on it, but you can cause lasting damage if it is not allowed to heal properly. The same goes with healing after an affair. The average couple may be able to stabilize their marriage, but often there are deep-rooted marital issues that only become noticeable over time or to an outsider looking in. Step 4, carve out some quality time. After you've had the tough talks and both have agreed that you're going to stick this out, it's time to work on rekindling your connection. Now, let's not be alarmed. This is not going to be easy to do, especially in the beginning, but it is crucial to bouncing back as quickly as possible. Spending time together shows investment in the relationship from both sides, and it helps to reestablish some type of normalcy. While it might be a challenge to find mutually agreeable activities when things are feeling so rocky, or at least try to have fun. A date night is one idea, but even better is an activity that builds relationships. For example, go for a hike, go bowling, walk in beautiful gardens, or maybe attend a sporting event. What did you enjoy doing when you were first dating? Do that. If it doesn't work, well, then it's time to know when it's time to walk away, right? So some people have been successful at mending a relationship after an affair, and hopefully you will be among them. But sometimes the wounds are just too deep for that to be possible. In other instances, if one party isn't truly committed to making it work, and that's another deal breaker. If you're having trouble getting past infidelity, maybe take a step back to access whether your spouse is actually empathizing with your feelings or is intent that you should just get over it. If the person is backsliding into old, secretive, or lying behavior, or there's just too much anger and hurt to recover from, well, then it just may be time to call it quits. All right, if you've just joined us, you're currently listening to the Men's Advocate Show with me, your host, Linda Gross. Today we are talking about cheater repair. Is it worth it? Should you leave and head for divorce court, or should you stay and make this work? All right, when we come back from the break, we're going to take a quick break right now, but when we come back, we're going to be talking about the 20 signs that your partner is cheating according to a private investigator. So I want you to join the conversation like you guys did a great job last week. So many phone calls. I loved it. Anyway, call in 323-642-1677, 323-642-1677. And, of course, you can also hop on the chat line if you're listening live. That chat line address is blogtalkradio.com/DT Linda Gross. That's /DT Linda Gross. We'll catch you right back after the break.
The Men's Advocate Show with Linda Gross. We will be discussing men's issues, dating, relationships, sex, women, fitness, health, business, men's hobbies, men's rights, and more. She will be talking about excerpts from her men's book, Mastering Women, too.
Hi, guys. You've heard her on the Men's Advocate Show.
Linda Gross wants you to know what turns a woman on and makes her go wild so she just can't help herself. Check out Linda's book, Mastering Women, Real Truth About Women That'll Change Your Life Forever. Linda gives you all the insider tips on how to catch a woman and, if you want, to keep her. In 4 easy steps, these proven techniques will make women just melt. Ever wonder why the girl you really liked seemed to be great when you met, then all of a sudden just goes cold on you and turns you off? Linda will also let you know what not to do on a date. Never blow it again by losing another hot woman. You don't have to be good looking or even have money. Her book, Mastering Women, is available in paperback and ebook. Men, Linda's on your side. So buy her book, Mastering Women. Bye for now. And don't keep your women waiting another minute. Get Mastering Women today.
You've heard her on the Men's Advocate Show with Linda Gross. How can you help further? From her Facebook fan page of the same name. Hit the Shop Now button and save this link to your favorites. Make all your usual Amazon purchases, and some of the revenue will support her show at no additional cost to you. No book purchase required. Just start with this link every time. The Men's Advocate Show with Linda Gross thanks you.
Welcome back, everybody. You're currently listening to the Men's Advocate Show with me, your host, Linda Gross. Today, we are talking about cheater repair. Is your partner worth repairing, or should you just head to divorce court? All right, so we're going to talk now about certain insights that a private investigator has gleaned. He's a PI for over the last 40 years in Newport Beach, California, and he says there are absolute clues that will, without a shadow of a doubt, determine whether somebody is a cheater. I'd like to share some of those insights with you. So turns out most people would rather know they're being cheated on instead of living a lie. Some people go as far as hiring a private investigator to find out the truth. According to a top private investigator, cheaters often follow the same patterns. So look for obvious signs like returning home late, to perhaps less cliche signs such as having a short temper. These all fall in predictable patterns that cheaters do. So to catch an unfaithful partner in the act or to confirm suspicions, people turn to the experts like a private investigator who make their life's work to uncover hidden relationships and illicit affairs. Private investigators know all the signs that cheaters are hiding something, or someone, I should say. So this particular private investigator from Newport Beach is saying that when you spot one or two of these items, it isn't necessarily a reason to worry. However, if you spot 4 or more of those on the list, it is practically an admission of your partner's guilt. He says the most common signs are the ones such as spending longer hours at work, business trips, less sex, or defensiveness. Those are the ones that are the most common. Now, a new commitment to the gym or maybe getting new clothing may be a sign that your partner is cheating, but more likely it's a sign that they're trying to better themselves. So that one's a toss-up. However, one of the most important signs, he says, and one that you should not ignore, is intuition, as people can typically always tell when a significant other is not being 100% truthful. So here we go. Buckle up, put your seatbelts on. Here are the signs. So like he says, if you've got 4 or more of these, you're in big danger zone. Ready? Okay. Changing habits. That's a good one because it's so hard to change a habit, right? So if they're changing habits, Ooh, that's a really big flag. Leaving the house early or returning late, business trips, holiday or family event absences, excessive overtime, unexplained spending, secret accounts, meaning your spouse has now an Instagram account where they didn't before, or now there's a new email address, hidden credit card bills, extra grooming, scent of someone else, the old school typical lipstick on the collar routine, buying gifts that you haven't seen. He or she has charged it, but guess what? The gift didn't come to you. Unexplained items, meaning that there are condoms in the car, joining a gym, missed calls from an unknown number, coded or secretive text messages, less sex, evasiveness or defensiveness, obvious lies, a short temper. Now all of a sudden your spouse hates surprise visits. So what that means is your unexpected arrival may come at an inopportune time for a cheater. So even if a partner isn't displaying any of the typical signs, your feelings may be picking up on something, so it's really something to watch out for. So conversely, what are some little things that couples can do to stay together in order to prevent the cheating? Let's go over those, shall we? So you agreed to stick it out through sickness and in health, for richer, for poorer, but the marital vows did not address the other big things that can untie your knot. They are boredom, feeling out of touch, or worse, platonic friendship instead of a all-in-love partnership. While the honeymoon bubble will eventually decline, that doesn't mean your relationship has to take a nosedive as well. In fact, some of marriage's best highlights, raising a family and developing a deeper, more profound connection, require years of togetherness. So, partners who stay together and are happy together and are less likely to stray are doing some of these following things. So you might want to add these to the mix. Shake up date night. So the weekly dinners at your favorite neighborhood bistro won't stroke your passion in the same way that novelty can, says a prominent psychologist. You don't have to give up your favorite couple time activities, but do make an effort to inject some new plans into the mix. Maybe it's a hike or a cooking class or even an amusement park ride. All of these things qualify. Just pick something that you've never done before or haven't done recently and do them together. Rewarding experiences can flood your brain with dopamine, which is a mind-boosting chemical. If your partner is also down for the new adventure, that feeling becomes linked to your spouse. Ask this question every day. How was your day, hon? Yep, it sounds cliche, but if this nightly ritual has fallen off your radar after years of marriage, consider bringing it back. Couples who discuss recent positive events with each other feel happier the next day, with increased feelings of intimacy and connection to their partners. What else? Well, have a laugh over inside jokes. So your kids may groan when you start in on this, but insider moments that only the two of you appreciate is healthy for your bond. One study asked couples to reminisce about fun times that they had, experienced both alone and together. For those who like to recall such events, they reported being most satisfied with their relationships. When people laugh or smile at the same thing, what happens? Well, they validate each other's opinions. So inside jokes or pet names, things others just don't get, strengthen ties between couples. So bonding over these moments builds a reservoir of joyful memories that can serve as a buffer against tough times. What else? Well, don't freak out over a fight. If you've been under each other's skin more than usual, it's not necessarily time to panic or rush to a marriage counselor. Feeling irritated with one another is almost always a sign that you are engaging and that you're engaging in a healthy way, that you're not drifting apart. It means that you've become comfortable expressing yourself over time. Relationships that are close and positive can also be very irritating. That said, conversely, if you or your spouse resorts to name-calling or frequent yelling, such behavior may be a sign of a problem worth addressing. And when you argue, fight right. Resolving a marital dispute without damaging your relationship may boil down to a single choice of words. When researchers recently studied disagreements among couples who were all married 15 or more years, they found that pairs who used plural pronouns such as we, us, and our during an argument were more likely to express positive feelings and report less mental stress afterwards. How about that? So using we language during a disagreement may help couples align themselves on the same team as opposed to being adversaries. Conversely, those individuals who preferred using the I word during a spat were more likely to have negative emotions and reported marital dissatisfaction. Uh-oh. All right. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back from the break, we're going to talk more about what you can do to put some spice into your marriage. And these are what successful couples do to prevent boredom, to prevent infidelity. So we're going to talk more about how to do that. So we will catch you right back after the break.
Hey guys, do you have a nagging problem that you just can't get a handle on? Now you can talk to an expert coach right in the privacy of your own home. Meet in person, over the phone, or with a free Skype call anywhere in the world. Linda is here to make it easy for you. Linda Gross has done years of academic research combined with interviewing over 20,000 men. Linda's expert advice gets you through tackling relationship issues, business goals, conflict resolution, and removing lifetime roadblocks that have kept you back. Usually handled in 4 sessions or less. Realize the benefits now. Go to the Men's Advocate page /coaching and you'll be on your way. That's themensadvocate.com/coaching. Darn, maybe you missed part of this show. Maybe you're still at work during the show. Maybe you heard the show but would like to listen again. Your problems are easily solved. Listen to any and all of Linda's archived shows at your convenience. Just Google SoundCloud The Men's Advocate. That's Google SoundCloud The Men's Advocate. The on-demand library is also available on the TuneIn app. Subscribe now and please share with your friends.
Welcome back, everybody. You're currently listening to the Men's Advocate Show with me, your host, Linda Gross. Today we are talking about cheater repair. Did you just find out that your spouse cheated on you? Is the marriage worth repairing, or should you be heading to divorce court? That's what we're talking about today. You can call in on our phone number with any comments or questions, 323-642-1677. 323-642-1677, and I'll be happy to talk to you about this subject. All right, so let's finish up our list with those couples who add a little spice to their relationship, and that's what prevents them from boredom or from infidelity. So you can add these things to your lineup as well. So another important attribute that they do is they celebrate each other's successes. So do you smile when your partner comes home with a pat on the back from their boss, or maybe your spouse just scored a really good fare on that trip that you guys have been wanting to take for months? Good, say UCLA psychologists, because the way you receive your significant other's exciting news may be even more important than how you react during a crisis. How about that? Well, in a recent study, partners who shared excitement for each other's achievements, meaning they say things like your hard work is paying off, versus don't talk in a negative way, like can you handle that responsibility in response to a promotion, for example. Couples who reacted in a positive, uplifting way had the most satisfying relationships. Interestingly, how a partner reacted to the tough times wasn't as closely tied to satisfaction. A celebration provides the opportunity to boost your spouse's ego and reinforce your status as a team. So break out those champagne flutes and start saluting yourselves more often, because it definitely pays off. All right, what else can you do? How about sweat a little bit with your spouse? So working out with your spouse kills two birds with one stone. A, you'll likely get fitter, and B, it will likely also benefit your sex life. So one study found that 94% of couples stuck to a fitness program when they did it together. So just getting at the gym at the same time, I think, is key. In other words, you don't even have to do the same activity at the same time. She can go to her Zumba class while you lift weights, and that absolutely works. You can keep each other motivated by going to the gym often, and it's exciting to explore new fitness activities like biking or hiking. Other research shows that women enjoy sex more when they're physically active. Workouts relieve stress, boost energy, and give body confidence a lift. All great for her libido. All right, what else? How about you try to listen? In other words, don't just try to wait to talk. Men do get a bad rap for not listening. So Harvard researchers say that couples who express the most empathy and affection are most likely to stay together for the long haul. So to become a better listener, try these attributes to up your game. A, be a mirror. So when your partner expresses his or her feelings, show that you're listening by paraphrasing. You can say things like, let me see if I've got that. You feel ... fill in the blanks, right? So what is that? That means you're being an active listener. You heard what your partner said, and you're confirming. Now you're taking the extra step to confirm what it is you heard. It's very reassuring to your partner, and it absolutely is a psychological tactic that does work. All right, next, resist the urge to interrupt. Instead of saying, are you through now? Calmly say, is there more to that story, or is that the end of the story? This shows your partner that he or she can feel open and safe with you to share their story. And then lastly, validate your spouse's point of view. Finish with, I can imagine that because of XYZ, and you fill in whatever that situation was. And then also, if you validate that person's emotions and say something like, and I see that you feel angry or sad or guilty or like whatever the emotion is, fill that space in as well. So those are some attributes of an active listener. All right? Next up, you want to get closer to his or her friends. So the more a couple's friends and family intermingle, the happier the spouses are. So according to research that examined the social circles of 350 couples, including your spouse in your network of friends is nearly as important for marital happiness as making him or her feel like part of your family. And actually, women benefited a little bit more in this department possibly because women put a higher value on relationships. So make sure you put that in the mix. And then rekindle romance in the bedroom. Lastly, staying intimate, as we all know, and romantically connected is one of the surest things you can do for a happy, lasting marriage. Unfortunately, nearly 1/3 of couples in America suffer from low sex drive or desire, and getting things back on track isn't always as simple as booking a bed and breakfast getaway. However, many experts do agree that simply putting sex back on your radar can help, meaning the more you do it. So the more you do it, the more you'll want to do it. So it's just a matter of getting started and getting it done. All right. Well, I hope you've enjoyed our show today. If you happen to have missed last week's show, we were talking about dump 'em. How do you feel? Do you feel like your relationship is all work and no joy? Do you think you're always the giver and not enough on the receiving end? Is she taking advantage of you? Well, maybe it's time to pull the plug. Want to know how it's time? Well, you need to listen to the show. So easy to do. You can go back into the archives right here on Blog Talk Radio, or you can also find me on SoundCloud and TuneIn. Same name as the show. All you have to do is go on Google and type in The Men's Advocate Show with Linda Gross, The Men's Advocate Show with Linda Gross. And not only these selections, but probably your favorite podcasting solution will come up, and you'll be able to find my show and have a listen. So you can listen to not only last week's show, but any and all of my archive shows. In fact, the SoundCloud has all 5 years of my archive shows on demand for you. I want to thank all the recent people that have just bought my book. My book, by the way, is The Science of Mastering Women, The Real Truth About Women That Will Change Your Life Forever. You can find it in paperback. Most people buy the paperback because they like reading it over and over again. They take a yellow highlighter and they, turn the ears down on the corners, turn the corners down. So you can do that, or you can download in a few seconds the ebook version as well. So for those of you who have already read my book, please do leave an Amazon review. It really helps spread the word and helps others find me. You can leave a few stars, like 4 or 5 stars, or you can write a few words about what you thought about the book or how it affected you. It really, really helps. So I much appreciate your doing that. And thank you for showing your love. And there are many ways you can show the love on the program. You can listen, call, subscribe, chat, like our fan page, follow, comment, share, tell a friend, advertise with me, start with my Amazon link, download my app, and buy my book on Amazon. Remember, the name of the book is The Science of Mastering Women, The Real Truth About Women That Will Change Your Life Forever. By the way, I'm running a special right now. Never done this special before, but here it is for you. if you sign up by Thanksgiving, which is November 28th, to advertise on my Blog Talk Radio show, I will only charge you $1. I normally charge $400 for this service, so $1. Go check it out. You can spare $1, right? Let's promote your business. Let's promote you. Let's get the word out about your product or service. All you have to do is contact me, right? And many ways to do that. You can DM me on Instagram. My Instagram handle, by the way, is Linda Gross Speaks, Linda Gross Speaks. And you can also find me on Facebook, same name as the show, The Men's Advocate Show with Linda Gross. So lots of different ways. Or you can go to my website and hit the contact page on the website. Website name is also themensadvocate.com, themensadvocate.com. All right, so those are all the ways that you can contact me. Anyway, thanks very much for listening to the show. We are usually here on Tuesdays, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on the Men's Advocate Show. Tell your friends. Thank you so much, and we will catch you next time on the Men's Advocate Show. Bye for now.